Hey guys, Toolman Tim here. Welcome back to the workshop where we build business, create community, find freedom, and share success. And we talk about tools. It's Monday, which means it's time for another Money Making Minute. And this week I got yet another good one for you. I want to share with you the essential tools I use for putting together IKEA furniture and some tips for doing it more efficiently and maybe starting a side hustle of putting together flat pack furniture. So hang in there, I'll be right back. All right guys, real quick, if you're new here, go by toolmantim.co, that's toolmantim.co to find out everything there is to know about who I am. Find my social media links there, follow me, interact in our community, and check it out. And if you're looking for, say, recommended products or solutions to problems you might have, go by toolmantim.shop. I've got over 100 Amazon links there of products I've tested that I've used in my handyman business that have made me money or saved me money. Stuff like, I got paint on vinyl siding, I got to get rid of it. What do I use? Or I got a heavy picture on a wall, I got to hang a heavy picture and I can't drill holes. What do I use? Got products all there that have all met the Toolman Tim seal of approval. Check it out. Anything you pick up over there will help support this channel by giving us a small commission and help support the content that we create. So thanks guys, you know I always appreciate that. Okay, so this week I wanted to share with you my love for putting together furniture, flat pack furniture. I kind of enjoy it. Sometimes I grumble when my wife asks me to do it, but I really do enjoy it for the most part. And I think it goes way back to my second job after university. The first one was a night manager at a Dairy Queen. The second one was working on the service counter at a good size hardware / building supply store. I loved the service desk because I got to talk to people all day long about tools and I got to put together all kinds of fun products. And you know, I would just set up in the middle of the main power alley where we would put our products together and say I'd put together a bike and some customer would come along and be like, "Oh, is that your ride home?" Or then I'd put together a barbecue and they'd come along, "Oh, when are the burgers going to be ready?" And every time somebody would come and say that, they always thought that they were the funniest person in the world and that they were the first person that ever come up with that. But, you know, whatever. It was funny at the time. And so then the guy, a little bit of an older fellow that taught me how to put all this product together. Maybe what I should say is he taught me how not to put it together, because his idea of putting together a barbecue was it typically involved a 3-pound sledgehammer and a cordless drill. And if you need that kind of stuff to put together a barbecue, you probably got problems. I even remember him rolling a barbecue along one day and a couple of the bolts falling literally right out of it. So if nothing else, maybe I learned some of the things that you shouldn't do. But you know what? People love IKEA. I literally hate going into IKEA. And I'm going to talk about IKEA in this video because that is the big one that we deal with. I hate going there. I won't go in there unless if my wife says you have to come in here because there's something I can't lift, okay, I'll come in, but I don't want to. That being said, customers love buying the stuff, but it is stressful for them if they don't have the gear or the know-how of how to put it together. So we can help relieve some of their stress by offering a furniture assembly service. And it's something I do a fair bit. We live almost 3 hours from an IKEA, but people still go to the city, still buy it, and still call me and say, "Hey Tim, can you put this together?" And I will say, "Sure, why not? I enjoy it." So what do I use first off to help make the procedure go a little bit smoother? Well, let's talk first maybe about the tips, and then I'll kind of intersperse the different tools that I use. But the first thing you want to do is have a big open area, ideally of course, in the room where the furniture is going to go, because one thing you don't want to do is move IKEA furniture more than you have to. It's good if it's sitting in one place, but when you have to pick it up and move it from room to room, that's when it starts to break down, fall apart, that kind of stuff. But keep your work area clean. Make sure there's no rocks or anything that's going to scratch, because they look good on the wall, hanging up, whatever, but if you put them on the ground, they're going to scratch super quick. A lot of times when I first get started, I open absolutely everything up. Take the cardboard box, cut it open, flop it down, and use that as a work area if you need to. If you can get up higher, great. Look for any missing or damaged pieces. I don't know how many times I have started putting something together and found I'm missing a piece or I got a damaged piece. And there's nothing that'll piss a person off more than being 3/4 of the way through an Ikea build and realizing I got nothing. I'm missing a part. It's going to be here in 6 to 8 weeks and I'm done. So then what do? How do you send back a 3/4 assembled piece of Ikea furniture? What do you do with it in the meantime to keep it safe and sturdy and secure? All that. So when you open everything up, I stack everything by pieces and make sure you've got everything you need and everything is in tip-top shape before you start. Now, the next thing is organize all your hardware in one place. So the first thing after I get all the big pieces out is I take my bags of hardware and I set them all in one place. I don't open them yet, but at least I know they're all there because I'm really good at running off and oh, damn it, where did I put that bag of this or this bag of that? So I've gotten really good at putting it all in one place, and that's kind of my little hardware center while I'm putting it together. Now, that being said, read your instructions. If you didn't hear me, I said read your instructions. I am not one of those typical men that will try to fly by the seat of their pants when assembling something and say, I should know. Seriously, there's a reason instructions were written. There's a reason they're put together. Sometimes they lose something in translation. Sometimes the diagrams are less than stellar. Sometimes you have to make an educated guess. But 99 times out of 100, if you follow the instructions, you're going to be more efficient than if you don't. Now, once you've put something together 100 times, you don't need to follow the instructions again. But if this is your first, second, or third time putting something together, follow the damn instructions. You'll have a better day. Trust me. Promise. Now, another thing, just finger tighten everything as you go along. Don't crank anything down until you get it all put together, because if you put 2 pieces at the bottom, if you're building a square, and you crank those 2 in, all of a sudden at the top, when you try to bring everything together, things might not line up yet. You need to have everything snug, but just tight enough that you're not over cranking anything. You don't want to over crank anything in IKEA furniture anyway, but just finger tighten everything as you go around until it tells you to tighten things up. Like I said, put your cardboard down, have a nice smooth work surface. You know, if you can get it up on a workbench, if it's that type of product, great, but most times you can't. So don't ever drag. I'm sure most of you guys, I'm probably preaching to the choir, but don't ever drag the pieces. Always pick them up and carry them. Don't pivot them. The corners break easy. They chip easy. Also, they're really sharp, so be careful when you're picking up pieces that you don't slice your finger. I'm really good at doing that on that kind of stuff. And okay, so that being said, that's kind of my tips. I might even do a video someday, a breakdown of putting this stuff together, but you need to have patience as well. If you don't have patience, you probably shouldn't put together flat pack furniture, just saying. And that's okay. If you know that about yourself, that's fine. So what do I use to put furniture together? Well, honestly, one of the most indispensable products I use are these little magnetic trays. So if you've got a bag, you know, you'll get like, say, 25 screws that are labeled A and 25 that are labeled E. Well, I dump all the A's in one, all the E's in another, and I do that sort of thing. I don't open more than I have to, but if you've got those big packages with a whole bunch of the same size stuff in it, throw them all in one magnetic tray. That way, you're not going to drop them, you're not going to lose them, they're not going to fall down behind in a heat grate, and you're going to have to swear and have a bad day. This helps keep things together. I use them for every project, and they're indispensable. So, now, another thing that you will find is those little teeny tiny nails that they all come with. And one thing I don't have here, but get yourself a little 12 or 16 ounce hammer. Don't use the 20 ounce that I use because you're going to hit your thumb, you're going to break things. But I like these. I know there's more specialty products on the market, but I use these little needle nose pliers to hold those tiny nails into place, the little backer nails. Otherwise, I have hit my fingers. You can't, they're too tiny to even hold into place. So a good pair of needle nose pliers will do you wonders when you're putting together IKEA furniture and putting on them stupid little nails on the back. Now, oh yes, and another tip, be very careful when you're opening the packages. They say, you know, maybe don't use a knife. I use a knife for everything, but what I do is I stick it in the end, then I lift up the seam and I slide under it with the knife. But a good quality utility knife, like the Milwaukee Fastback, Snapback, whatever, this guy is awesome. I love this thing. Something like that will save you a lot of time and struggle, and it'll help you cut down the cardboard boxes to use as kind of support and protection material as well. But you got to have one of those. Just be extra careful when you're opening them that you're not going against any of the wood, because you can't fix that. You dig into that with a utility knife and you are hooped. Now, the next thing is some way to put it together. Some people love hand drivers. I don't. I honestly, and this might be sacrilege for some of you, but I use my small compact. This is the atomic one, isn't it? This is not the atomic one. The atomic one's up there. But I use my small impact driver from DeWalt. Now, do not crank on it. If you crank on it, you're going to have a bad day. You're going to wreck the furniture. But you want something with a nice variable speed trigger, and this will save you tons of carpal tunnel and tons of time. Even if you just put it in 3/4 of the way with this and then just hand tighten it at the end, great. But that being said, some sort of battery powered screwdriver, impact driver, drill driver, whatever, the lighter the better, because you put a lot of fasteners in when you're doing IKEA stuff. And I like this little guy, works great. The lighter the battery I can find, the better. It's still a little heavy. I wouldn't mind having maybe like a little battery powered screwdriver, but this works really well and I enjoy that. And then of course, what goes along with that is a good set of bits. A lot of times they're Phillips, sometimes they're Robertson, but mostly they're, the Phillips, the star-styled screwdrivers. So have a good assortment of bits on hand that you can use long enough. I really like, actually, I've got a 6-inch, I don't have here right now, but a 6-inch Phillips that I really like for a lot of this stuff, because sometimes you're in some weird spots and having a little extra extension on there just makes a difference between having a bad day or a good day, marring up the material, or being able to put the screw in there good. And don't overcrank things, because IKEA is like that press wood most of the time, and if you do, you're going to end up stripping it, and there are ways to fix it, but you don't want to do that. So take your time, go slow, and there's that light in the camera again. Sorry guys, do that. Now, this is a product I have not reviewed yet. I've been using it for a while. It was a solution to a problem that I had but didn't know it existed. So I started digging around, and as you can imagine, IKEA being from Europe, where it is, they are big into the metric system. They use Allen keys for almost everything. And the stupid little Allen keys they send with it, you might as well not even use. They slip, they strip, they're hard on the fingers. So I was looking for something that I could put into my drill driver, my impact driver, and make it work. So yes, there's Allen key socket adapters. I had the stuff at home that I could make it work with sockets, a socket adapter, and the Allen key socket pieces. But that was cumbersome, heavy, and I wanted something small, compact, and in a kit that I could throw in my drill bag and take with me anytime I got to put together furniture. So I come up with this guy, and that is the Nico brand Impact Ready Allen keys. So let me take one of these out here if you want to see. I'm sure you can see that, but it's got the regular old 6-sided impact adapter. See, it's in there just like that. And also they changed the design on that. They've got a laser engraved sizes on them as well, but these are great. They're 3 inches long and they work absolutely perfect. They have been a huge time saver for me when I'm putting together IKEA furniture. So if you're looking for something like that, there's also a standard version as well, but with IKEA, it's almost all metric, at least what I have found. This is a really robust set. It's not expensive. I asked for recommendations on the Handyman Mastermind Facebook group, and this is the type of stuff they came back with. They said, these are good. It's either these or I think Mac Tools sold a kit for $200. I ain't spending $200 on 20 Allen key adapters. Not happening, no way. Well, at least not yet anyway. But that being said, these were not real expensive. I'll do a standalone review on them down the road, but they've been a lifesaver for putting together furniture for me so far. So if you're looking for something like that, that is the cat's ass. So that's it for me, guys. Wanted to share with you this week on how I put together IKEA furniture, kind of my process for it. I might do a more in-depth video on that, but I wanted to show you some of the products that I use while I'm doing it. Every time I put together one of these compilation videos, I'm sure you've seen some of the products before, but it's always fun because there's always stuff you've missed. I love top 10 lists and compilation lists because even if I've seen 9 of the products, the 10th one, I'm like, oh, yeah, I got to get that. Hey, honey, I got to add something to the Amazon cart. Don't order yet. That kind of thing, right? So if you're new here, guys, and you like what I have to offer, hit that subscribe button, stick around. If you've got other suggestions for putting together IKEA furniture, throw them in the comments below, guys, because I love hearing from you guys. I love interacting with the community, and I love sharing our knowledge base. That's what I'm here for. And If you appreciate this content and you like it, give it a share on social media, guys. Get it out there. Let people know what we're doing, what we're all about. So that's it for me this week, guys. As always, you know what it is. Stay happy, stay healthy, and have a great week.